Okay, 10 more mistakes. Number 1 is a very typical vocabulary mistake. She declined that they had had a romantic relationship. Now, declined is not the word you need here. Decline is very similar to refuse. Your card can be declined in a shop. It means they refuse to accept your card, your credit card, or debit card. If your card is declined, you can't buy your shopping. But you can't say she declined that they had had a romantic relationship. You need she denied. And then you've got the correct reporting verb. Okay, decline would be decline an invitation, or as I say, they can decline your card at the bank if perhaps it's out of date, or could be another reason. Okay, number 2, and then the police must have released him. They had no choice. Now, this is possible without this sentence. This is correct, and then the police must have released him. But that means you're saying, I'm 100% sure that they released him. It's not the same as a modal of obligation when they had no choice. So the student here actually meant the police had to release him, which is very different. The police had to release him. They had no choice. Yeah, the police had to release him. They had no choice. So please remember the difference between a modal verb of deduction, must have released, I'm 100% sure, and a modal verb of obligation, had to. They had no choice. They had been ordered to release him. Okay, number 3, there are a lot of problems with fall. Please remember that you can only fall out of something which you get into. And so you can fall out of a car because you get in a car. But you can't fall out of a balcony. You can only fall off the balcony because you go on the balcony. So she fell off the balcony. You can fall out of a tree because you get in a tree. You climb into the bushes. You climb into the branches. And so you can fall out of a tree, but you can't fall out of a balcony. So she fell off the balcony. Number 4, she concluded that the victim must have been falling from the balcony. Well, this is unfortunate because the student's done very well, but they've tried to use a form which is too complicated. Past modal for a deduction is a good idea, and this is a deduction because she concluded that the victim must have fallen. Now, it's not perfect continuous, it's perfect simple, because the focus is on the result, and this would be in the middle of falling in some kind of way, or for some kind of long duration, and falling is very quick. And so we really do need the simple form here. She concluded that the victim must have fallen from the balcony because she could see the result of this fall. Okay, number 5. This is the difference between remind me of and remind someone about. Yeah, remind someone of and remind someone about. Remind me of, remind me about. The difference is simple. Remind me of is used for past and remind me about is used for future. And if you look at our example, her past, it's very clearly reminded her of her past. So if you want to talk about your childhood and say, this building reminds me of my old house. Yeah, it reminds me of, because you're talking about the past. But you can remind someone about the doctor's appointment, and then you're reminding them about something which will happen in the future. So please remember the difference between these two prepositions. Remind someone of, remind someone about. Number 6, they pointed their guns, it's another preposition mistake, at her. You point at something, and you point your gun at something, and you shoot at someone if you've got a gun. We use this at for anything which is directed and targeted. Remember that we stare at, and we look at, and we glare at, and we also smirk at, which we'll see in a second, which is how you look at someone. Okay, so at here. Number 7, he asked security to bring him to the administrator. This is quite unnatural. We would normally say to take him to the administrator. When you mean in the sense of somebody leading you somewhere, you use take. Take me to the administrator. Take me to the manager. I want to complain. Okay, number 8. There weren't a lot of knowledges. No, there wasn't a lot of knowledge. Knowledge is uncountable in English, so please don't use it with an S. Number 9, he smirked at his enemy. Please remember that these ways of looking at people and these ways of smiling at people, smirking at people, grinning at people, they're very often at. Okay, for looking at or for smiling at or glaring at. Okay, we often use that at. Number 10. Now I wanted to spend a bit longer on this one because I think this is confusing. She was sure to have met him is correct in some situations. However, what my student should have said, and by the way, Angela, I'm sorry that I didn't notice this immediately in the class, but this was a complicated mistake. What you should have said is she was sure of having met him, and then it would have been correct. Now, both of these sentences are grammatically correct, but they mean different things. One has got the perfect gerund, having met, and one has got the perfect infinitive, to have met. And the difference is this. To be sure to and to be sure of are actually very different. To be sure to means that you are certain, you are 100% certain something will happen. So if I say she is sure to succeed, who is certain? Is she certain or am I certain? I am certain that she will succeed when I say this. Very important. I'm certain that she will succeed. And so if I say she was sure to have met him, it means I am sure that she met him. And that wasn't what Angela meant. What she meant was that she was sure that she had met him, and that would be number 2 here, part B. It would be she was sure of having met him. Okay? Because to be sure of, it means that if we say she is sure of her chances of success, here we mean she is 100% certain. Okay? So please try and study those 2 examples and see how they are different. If you say she is sure of her chances of success, that means she is certain. But if I say she is sure to succeed, that means I am certain. It's the same as she is bound to succeed. Yeah, it's the same as she is bound to succeed. And so she was bound to have met him. It's when you are certain that she had met him. But what my student wanted was this. She was sure of having met him. Yeah, she remembered having met him before. So she was sure of having met him. Okay, if you have any questions about these 10 mistakes, please write them on the bottom of the video. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you all soon.